Jordan Peele's Nope manages to be a crossover of the two films that scarred me the most as a child. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Carter Scotland Allen. This is my film page where I talk anything and everything film related. If I'm interested, I will talk about it, as well as sharing my professional filmmaking journey. But let's get into Jordan Peele's third outing after Get Out and Us, with his wildest new film, Nope. Two siblings who run a California horse ranch discover something wonderful and sinister in the skies above, while the owner of an adjacent theme park tries to profit from the mysterious, otherworldly phenomenon. Okay, starting off with the directing, as always, we have the great Jordan Peele, who is now becoming one of the most well-known horror directors and one of the biggest directors of our time. He's very well known, and anytime he puts out a film, people will go see it. If he has his name attached to it, people will go see that film, and that's not common for most directors today. Nope managed to hold my attention for the entire runtime. I did not get up once, I didn't think about getting up once, I was glued to the screen for the entire time. The direction of the overall film didn't feel that clear for the first 30 to 40 minutes, but as these pieces start to roll out and lay into place, it just left me speechless. I was blown away, sitting on the edge of my seat, literally, smiling, laughing, just like jaw dropped. I had so much fun. It was one badass fun adventure. This is easily his biggest film in terms of scope and visually what he wanted to do. It is a very wide shot film with Hoyt van Hoytema as the cinematographer, which we'll talk about later on. But this film looks great. It's directed fantastically. It is probably going to end up being my favorite Jordan Peele film. It might not beat Nope in the long run. I do need to see it a couple more times, but I absolutely love this film. And moving on to the cast and the characters, I thought every single character in this film was fantastic, except for Barbie Ferreira as the Fry's other technician, I guess, just the other employee. It just felt kind of pointless, and that was the one moment where I was like, why? You just didn't either not have it in the film or cast somebody else just because it didn't feel necessary or genuine. That was literally my only complaint of the entire film. But right out of the gate, I have to say this film features my favorite group of characters out of all three films from Jordan Peele. I'm now going to get into slight spoiler territory, so be warned, but the reason why I might like these characters so much is because of the film's massive resemblance to Jaws, which is easily one of my favorite films of all time. I got the tattoo right here. It was undeniably a recreation of Jaws in what I thought was an amazing homage. I'm babbling because I don't know what to say. I have a script written right here, but it's just such a fun film, and I loved it. The relationship between OJ and Emerald actually felt like siblings, and you could see the growth between the two. I thought they both did a fantastic job. Keke Palmer nailed it, and of course Daniel Kaluuya, he's fucking awesome. Get Out was phenomenal, and these are two completely different roles, and he nails them both. And the supporting cast is fantastic, from Michael Wincott, Brandon Perea, to Steven Yeun. They are all amazing. I love them all separately, and they all have a moment to shine, whether it's a piece of dialogue that they deliver that is either funny or just unique, or, Michael Wincott in his totally gravelly voice. It's just everything about the supporting cast works for me, in my opinion. But bringing it back to Jaws, this film resembles Jaws in the best way possible that's also covered up in signs. It's basically Jaws the movie, but covered up with aliens and signs, and I love it. I'm absolutely here for it. In my opinion, I thought OJ personally resembled Hooper upon first watch, but now thinking about it, Angel is probably more so like Hooper, because he's the technician. He's got his skills to, try and help capture the creature or get rid of it. And I thought that very much resembled Hooper. And then you have Emerald and OJ, who honestly, OJ's more of the Brody character. Emerald is kind of an outlier. She doesn't feel much like Quint. I would say that Michael Wincott, even though he has a smaller performance in the film, he feels much more like Quint than I would say Emerald does. Emerald is, honestly, like I said, she's kind of an outlier. She's more of her own character. But you do have these resemblances to Jaws, as well as Steven Yeun's character feeling like the mayor of Jaws, who in Jaws the mayor's trying to keep the town open, keep the beaches open, so that way they can make the most money. And in this film you have Steven Yeun's character who's trying to use this theme park, and he's letting people die, he's letting horses die. And then Jean Jacket itself, we got to talk about Jean Jacket, is obviously our Bruce, our shark in the sky. It is our beast for the film that you don't see too much of and then you see a lot of, but you're not realizing what the actual beast is that you're watching until, until that big reveal, which I thought was extremely well done, and I had it spoiled beforehand going into. But it literally didn't ruin the film in any way. Honestly, it might have made it better because who knows, I might have not had liked the twist, but I just, going into the film knowing that, I was like, whoa, watching it fly around, I was like, that is a creature. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. Even down to Keith David as Pops, resembling the opening death in Jaws. Yes, it's not the opening scene, but it is the first death that we see in the film. The characters all work so well together, and this film genuinely gives me the same emotional response that I had to watching Jaws and that I still have to watching Jaws, a feeling that I have never had in my 24 years of watching film. And moving on to the story, this film has one of the wildest stories I've ever seen. The Gordy subplot, I keep seeing people say, has no real reason for being a part of the film, which I wholeheartedly disagree. The Gordy subplot is a way to show that Ricky Jupe Park survived this accident, and that led him to believing that he tamed the beast. The beast didn't want to kill Ricky. He had control over it, and then it ended up getting cut short in front of him. That led him to, in the long run, believing he could tame basically anything, trying to tame Jean Jacket and use it for his profit, which is ultimately his downfall. As for the social commentary of the film, this doesn't have as much of a presence compared to Get Out or Us, but it does have the obvious themes of, not using animals for monetary gain. Obviously, like on film sets and things like that. From OJ's perspective, and when he's on a film set, everybody, is made to stop and look at him, just like Jupe is trying to show off Jean Jacket. And it's just using people for exploitation, and then they ultimately don't, they don't listen to OJ about, what the horse is going to do, and then the horse ends up almost kicking somebody. It's just like, it's all foreshadowing what Jean Jacket is going to do and how Jean Jacket does ultimately lash out. God, I could go on about this movie forever. This movie is awesome. Let's continue. The story overall is right up my alley, and it unfolds in unexpected ways. It resembles Jaws and Signs, which are the two films that scarred me the most as a kid, and I just honestly couldn't believe what I was watching on the screen. Now talking about the visuals, the cinematography was done by the great Hoyt van Hoytema, who is known for doing most of, if not all of, Christopher Nolan's films. This film is easily the best film that portrays nighttime cinematography. This is the best nighttime cinematography I have ever seen, period. This film is without a doubt the most beautiful film of the year. If you have a chance, I would say go see this film in IMAX. If there's any way to do it, save up that money. Just go see this film in IMAX. It is totally worth it. And moving on to the score for the film. We finally circle back around to M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, which I definitely feel its presence in this film. And Signs happened to be M. Night Shyamalan's third film, and this is Jordan Peele's third film, which they both tackled aliens, which I just thought was an interesting fact. But the score, though, is easily perfect. Like, it seriously is fantastic. I have listened to this score on Spotify 3 times all the way through. I can't tell you the last motion picture soundtrack that I've listened to like that. This is easily my favorite film score that I've heard in the past 5 years, probably. Maybe 10 years. I need to go back and look because there's been some obviously fantastic films. But the last 5 years, this is easily my favorite film score. This film score is so unique to its own with its Western tones, but then also having just some subtle hints that feel like Signs to me, in my opinion, as well as Jaws. But it just feels like that tone, that adventure, that thrill. It's the same feelings that I got from watching those films. And again, I'm just blown away with this film and how it is making me this happy. I did not expect to enjoy this film this much. But the score overall is fantastic. It has a fun, lighthearted feel overall, and then has some terrifying beats that are really creepy and eerie. The films that I think are most heard inside of this film score would be Jaws, Signs, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and maybe even a little bit of Indiana Jones. Alright, now moving on to the final thoughts, because this is already a 22-minute video that I gotta cut down. But moving on to the final thoughts, what do I think about Nope? I went into this film expecting a fun ride and honestly nothing more due to the reviews that I was hearing. I love both of his previous films, I love Get Out, and I do enjoy Us quite a bit, although I don't need to rewatch that one anytime soon. But I really did love Get Out and I had hope for this film. I was just expecting a fun theater experience. I'm so glad I didn't let negative reviews affect my viewing experience. This is easily the most beautiful film I've seen of the year so far, and I don't know if any film will come close to that. It will definitely be in my running for my favorite film of the year. It's between this film and X as of right now. I do need to see this again, of course. I've seen X like 3 or 4 or 5 times, whereas this film I've only seen once at the moment. I will be going to see it again in theaters because I can't miss this, leaving theaters and not seeing it again. This film is fantastic. I'm so glad I got to see it in theaters. If you have the chance, you need to go see it. I will 100% be buying this film if you can't tell by my tone towards the film. I love it. I will be buying it. I might even say screw it and get a steelbook if they do it. I don't have the steelbooks for Get Out or Us. I don't think I need those. But if they have one for Nope and it looks really cool, I might do that. This film is awesome, and I can't wait to see what Jordan Peele does next. This is easily one of my top 10 favorite alien sci-fi films of all time. I will be doing a ranking of my top 10 favorite alien sci-fi horror type films of all time coming soon. Not necessarily this week, but probably in a couple weeks. Very excited to talk about that. But Nope is fantastic. I did not expect to love it this much. But what did you guys think about Nope? Let me know down in the comments below. That was my review for Nope. Obviously, you guys can tell that I loved it. If you guys made it this far, you know that I loved it because I've been babbling on for almost 20 minutes. But that's it, everybody, for my review of Nope. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Carter Scotland Allen. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as commenting down below what you guys thought of the film. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next movie-related video. Peace.